The White House tonight says that the U.S. is now among the many countries racing to help after that catastrophic earthquake. The images are horrific tonight, and it is heartbreaking. The scope of the loss continues to mount after that powerful earthquake striking Turkey near the border with Syria. The worst to strike there in a century, the 7.8 quake, followed by multiple aftershocks now. Take a look at the terrifying moment this apartment building collapses hours after the initial quake. People right there running for their lives, and tonight the staggering toll. More than 3,700 lives lost and still rising. Near the epicenter tonight, almost total destruction. Survivors salvaging anything they can. Millions across that region now homeless tonight. The desperate search for survivors, rescuers digging through flattened buildings, often using their hands to dig. Rescue dogs at the scene, the urgent search for anyone who might be alive.
Almost a year into Russia's war on Ukraine, and a top Ukrainian official says Moscow is planning another big call-up of troops in the months ahead. Russia denies it, but the deputy head of Ukraine's defense intelligence says Russia is expected to mobilize up to 500,000 additional troops for operations in the east and south. Fierce fighting continues in the east, in the town of Volodar in the Donetsk region, and in the city of Bakhmut, where intense battles are ongoing.
A second white orb in the sky, this time over South America. China coming clean. It's theirs. This is also a civilian airship used for scientific research, says a Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson. The admission coming 2 days after the US shot down a suspected spy balloon in their airspace.
That is a kill. The balloon is completely destroyed.
Today, debris hauled in from the sea and taken to FBI labs. One line of investigation if it was carrying explosives, which could have been used to self-destruct.
A remote area of WA, more than 500 kilometres away from Perth, ablaze. What you're looking at is a bushfire and a plane crash. Black smoke billows after a firefighting aircraft went down trying to contain it. The two pilots freed themselves from the burning wreck and were flown to Perth last night. Remarkably, the pair walked into hospital, still in uniform, unscathed, after their Boeing 737 air tanker crashed at 4:30 yesterday afternoon. Fire authorities say dry lightning sparked the fire in Fitzgerald River National Park yesterday morning. Firefighters battled it as it burned through 900 hectares. 6 hours later, the air tanker had flown through the fire zone multiple times trying to extinguish the bushfire when it crashed.
Tonight, federal investigators poring over a close call at Austin Bergstrom International Airport. It happened early Saturday when a FedEx cargo plane was making its approach in heavy fog. According to the FAA, the cargo plane was cleared to land on the same runway as a departing Southwest Airlines flight that had just been cleared for takeoff. The NTSB now says the FedEx flight came within less than 100 feet of the Southwest plane. Moments later, you can hear someone, not yet identified, on radio traffic between pilots and air traffic control tell Southwest to abort.
Southwest says we're confirmed on the road. We're on now. Southwest aboard. FedEx is on the go.
That response, the FAA says, is the FedEx pilot cutting his landing short, pulling the plane into a climb, and putting critical distance between both planes.
Under a new agreement, the U.S. will gain access to 4 more Philippine military bases, in addition to the 5 the U.S. already uses. The U.S. has put aside over $82 million to upgrade the infrastructure at the Philippine bases. While the locations weren't announced, Philippine officials in November announced that the U.S. asked for access to military camps in Luzon, in the northern part of the Philippines, which is close to Taiwan.
Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov arrived in Mali early Tuesday for talks with its junta leaders, seeking Moscow's help in battling an Islamist insurgency that remains entrenched despite years of fighting. Lavrov, who was in Iraq on Monday, was welcomed upon his arrival by his counterpart Abdoulaye Diop. The visit of fewer than 24 hours will be his third trip to Africa since July, part of a bid to expand Russia's presence on the continent amid broad international isolation after Moscow's invasion of Ukraine last year.